Hey everyone, it's Andy Zitzman here, getting at you bright and early in the morning. As you can see, I'm fresh out of bed and I am recording my first video. I am getting outside of my comfort zone. I'm recording my first video. I'm going to post it to YouTube and to Facebook, and I thought, you know what a better time to record my first video, fresh, bright and early, Monday morning, kick off the week, and actually step outside my comfort zone and do something great. At least great for me. So thank you for watching, for those that are out there, and I wish and hope all of you have a wonderful Monday and a wonderful week. And I wanted to share, my first video, I wanted to share something, an experience that just happened for me over the last week. And in fact, somewhat of an experience I think that all of us encounter many times a week, a day, perhaps at least a lot throughout life. And for me, what I had to do last week was I recorded my first audio product. And then over this weekend, I actually needed to get feedback on that product and then record it again. And I'll tell you, it was challenging. It was hard. It was the first product I've recorded for my business. This is the first video I'm recording for my business, and it was challenging, and I was a little bit afraid. So I'm doing this video today because I thought, I should probably start doing the posting the videos now that I've done the audio. And I wanted to share with you my experience around fear and the product I created around overcoming your fear. So here I am, being open, vulnerable. I'm telling you, I'm actually a novice at this. I'm not great at it, but I'm dedicated to getting better at it. And it's going to be funny, I think, looking back a year from now at this video and seeing how far we've all come together in future videos. So my business, by the way, it's Andy Zitzman, andyzitzman.com, and I'm a business coach, speaker, and founder of the Conceive, Believe, Achieve movement. So I'll share with you more about that another time, but essentially I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, and I'm dedicated to helping people step up and live amazing lives. Essentially people who have it all and still want more, to get clear on their purpose and passion and step up and live an amazing life. So for me, what that entails and was very real in my life was, in order for me to actually step up and live the life that I want, I had to overcome fear. And what I realized is that every time in my life when I was doing well, I somewhat naturally overcame fear. In fact, as a young boy and growing up, I'm an identical twin, so I never really had a lot of fear growing up because I always had this buddy next to me. I had my bro, and and when you're an identical twin, you don't really experience life the same as most individuals. So I think I was really fortunate. I was grateful for that. But as I got older, I started to face fear more and more. And in fact, in my personal life, I didn't do well with it. In my business life, I did really well with it. For whatever reason, business, working hard, that kind of was ingrained in me. And I just, acted through fear. I worked really hard and I did really well. But when it came to the areas of my life where I wasn't doing well, I realized that my reaction to fear, my negative reactions to fear, is what were really hurting me. And in fact, for me, what that turned into being was someone that was ultra successful, more successful than I ever imagined in the business world, making a lot of money, also blowing a lot of that money because of my personal life, and then taking that success and moving into my personal life where my fear took me out on a daily basis. And in fact, I became so afraid of life and of being present, of being in relationship with myself, with others, that I resorted to drugs and alcohol to face my fear. And what I did was I essentially escaped life. And so I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know that I was having a negative reaction to fear in this area and a positive reaction to fear in my work area. But why I share that with you is to tell you that, in anything in life, if you're afraid, if you're having fear, think about the times where you've overcome it and think about the times where it's taken you out. And I guarantee you that you yourself have developed some type of process. It might be as simple as just taking action to overcome your fear. So Why fear, and why did I create a product on that? There's a ton of products out there on fear. Every personal development person out there, from the best to the worst, probably has some type of strategy or concept around fear. But what I don't see in a lot of these people at times is really the authenticity, the genuineness to say that they too are experiencing this fear over and over again, and that that's okay. Right? I mean, in my opinion, fear, people say it's false evidence appearing real. It's not real. Well, that I think is a bunch of BS. I think fear is very real. Fear, in fact, it's an emotion. So of course it's real. Right? It's what we do with it next, which is often not real. And what most people do with it, and what I did with it a lot, is either avoid it altogether, stuff it away, or actually allow ourselves to go into that negative world of future projections that aren't real. And those things aren't real. But fear itself, the emotion, is very real. And so whether you're the most courageous person in the world or you're just the most fearful person in the world, you always feel fear. We always feel fear. Right? But that word courage is what takes us to that next step, right? And I like to call courage, I created a definition for courage, a new definition, if you will. And I call courage the expansion of fear into the future positive. Because, if you really think about it, right, most reactions to fear is something negative. The word itself has a negative connotation. And what we typically do is fear hits, and all of a sudden we come up with all these negative possibilities, all these reasons why we can't do something, why we're not good enough, why it's too hard, what it's going to be like to do it is just so overly dramatic. And eventually we just get to a point where we just give up and we don't do anything, right? And so what I'm saying is, courage, and a lot of people talk to you about courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is actually overcoming that fear. In fact, Nelson Mandela says courage is the triumph over fear. And I totally agree with that. I think that, being realistic and realizing that fear is real, and but that also at the same time we can do something about it. I think when I'm talking to someone that's done great things in their life, when they tell me, you know what, I've been afraid. Yeah, I mean, fear's real. I've been afraid. And here's what I do. When someone brings themselves to me like that, I like to listen, and I like to learn from a person like that, because we're all in this world together, and we all have all of these parts, all of these emotions. And fear is probably the biggest one out there that holds us back from going out and getting the life that we know we want and deserve. And so what I did was I created this fun 4-step process. It's kind of cheesy maybe for some of you, but at the end of the day, when this 4-letter acronym that I've created pops into your head and you can say it over and over and over again, hopefully it's that magic moment that allows you to go from the moment when fear hits to what's next. And hopefully that what next is something positive, because fear can be something positive. In fact, fear is positive. It's an emotion that we feel is very negative, but if you really think about it, fear and what it is an emotion for us to wake up and recognize something, right? And then the question is, what do we do next with that? So I created this fun little program. I'm going to call it Friend Your Fear, and it's a 4-step process, okay? And that first step is face, F, face, E, embrace, A, act, and R, repeat. So fear, face, embrace, act, repeat. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Yes, it's as simple as that. And what do I mean by face, embrace, act, repeat? Well, I did a product on fear and overcoming it. I named it Friend Your Fear. I recorded it last week, and then all of a sudden I got my feedback and I need to record it again, and fear hit. And I had to go and leverage this process to go and do it again. But this morning, what was crazy is last night, I'm excited. I finished my first product. I'm proud of myself. And I wake up this morning and fear hits me on the next things that are on my list. And I'm sitting there laughing at myself. And I'm like, wow, Andy, you just recorded a product on fear and you're now afraid. And then I reminded myself, oh yeah, fear is an emotion. I get to choose to do something about it. And in fact, psychologists and other doctors out there will tell you that any emotion for the first 90 seconds, you are not responsible for. So there you go. Let yourself off the hook. Know that any emotion that hits you, anger, other stuff, for 90 seconds, it's not your deal. You didn't create it. But after that, you did. So, you have 90 seconds, of letting yourself off the hook. But what you do next with that emotion, if you continue that anger, if you continue that fear, if you continue that happiness, whatever, you're responsible after those 90 seconds. And that's what I hope this program helps you do, is that after that 90 seconds hit, after fear hits, because it's going to hit over and over and over again. It's not a one-time event. It's going to continue, right? That you have something fun and simple to actually flip the script on fear, turn it from a negative to a positive, maybe have a little fun with it with this cheesy acronym, and you can friend your fear. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Face. What does that mean? What I mean by that is anytime fear hits, it's really important to face it. Get present with it. Recognize what's happening. Feel that emotion in your body. In fact, if you want to go to the next level with the negative projections, let them go. But after 90 seconds, remember that it's now your time to face it, to really feel it, and actually make that decision to do something with it. And that something can be positive. And that's where the courage comes in, right? So courage, I like to call courage the expansion into the future positive, because that's the next step after fear. Fear is real. It's never absent, no matter how courageous you are. It's our job that after, when fear hits, to get courageous and then to expand that fear into the future positive. And that's where step 2 comes in. So step 1 is face. Step 2 is embrace. And what do I mean by embrace? I mean embrace your fear and all the future positive possibilities. Embrace that fear. Embrace it. Say, thank you, fear. I appreciate you trying to, take care of me and make me aware of this imminent danger or difficult situation, and I appreciate all the negative projections. But today, I'm actually going to expand on that. I'm going to take it to a step further, and I'm going to expand it into all future positive possibilities. And what that could look like is simply just closing your eyes or taking out a piece of paper and write down all of the positive possibilities of what could come from this fear. So if you have a dream, a goal, a desire, something you're chasing, and fear is hitting and it's taking you out, and you're thinking of all the reasons why you can't, and you're thinking about all the other things that are negative in that situation, I'm saying just spend at least the same amount of time in the positive. Move over to the positive and say, okay, I just talked about what I can't do. What can I do? What is possible? Where could I go? What are all my resources, and have no judgment with yourself. Just really be present with yourself. Don't judge it, and allow that mind to expand into the positive. It's expanding into the negative without us even really being conscious of it. What I'm saying is bring some conscious intent to it. Face it, embrace it, expand that fear into the future positive, write down all those possibilities, and all of a sudden your energy will start to lift and you'll feel a little bit better, and that fear will start to diminish. And then you go into step 3, and step 3 is simple. It's act, right? So a lot of people will tell you, just act your way out of fear. Do, and act your way out of fear. And there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, if you take action anytime fear hits, positive action, hopefully, typically you're going to probably work your way out of that fear, or at least diminish it to some point, and that's great. But for long-term sustainability, to make sure that you have a process every time fear hits, not just when things are going good, or not just when you're feeling courageous and strong, that you actually have a moment that says, that clicks in your brain and says, oh, I recognize fear, it's hitting, I'm going to do something positive with it. I think it's really important to not just act immediately. It's important to face it, get conscious with it. 2, embrace it, really embrace those positive possibilities. And then 3, act, right? So there is a little bit of a step 1 and 2 before you take that action. In step 3, act. What that is you can get out a big, massive action plan, create your strategy, create your plan, do all that. But to keep it simple, just pick 3 actions you can take to overcome this fear or to move towards that goal. And most importantly, if you can't think of 3, at least do 1. One immediate action that you can take to put in motion this dream, goal, or desire, to put in motion some way to overcome this fear. And then step 4 is repeat. Simple. Why repeat? Because fear is not a one-time event. It's going to hit us hard time and time again. And whether you have conquered your fear and mastered your fear and you just know how to overcome your fear, people can master their fear for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and then all of a sudden life conditions hit and they change. right? It could be a marriage, it could be a divorce, it could be a new job, it could be getting fired, it could be anything, you know, and we can master our fear in many areas of our life, but not in others. Like, so for me, business, no doubt, I mastered my fear, I take action, I make the calls, I do whatever I need to do. But in my personal life, afraid of women, afraid of dating, I'm not good enough, self-doubt, all these different things. And all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm a drug addict, I'm in rehab, because the same tools and skills I knew how to master my fear in the corporate world, I couldn't do in my personal life. And until I brought it all together, you know, and was able to master my fear in every area of my life, with this process, really. I didn't know I was doing the process, but with this process, you know, it wasn't until I was able to repeat it over and over and over again and really bring it into my body and drive it home, you know, that I was able to start have some more consistency and start to get the things in life that I want. So repeat is step 4, because no matter what, no matter how strong we are, no matter how weak we are, fear is going to hit. It's going to hit over and over again, and we're going to need to repeat the process. So thank you for watching this video. I have no idea how long it was. In fact, I don't even know if it's any good. I hope you found it good, you know, and I hope you found it useful. You can visit me at andyzitzman.com, and you can follow me on Facebook, my fan page at Andy Zitzman. Please like. I'll be delivering more and more content like this as time goes on, and I want to thank you all for being part and sharing my first video with me. So remember, it's Monday. We have a choice today to make it a great day and to make it a great week. And what a better day to start with Monday, right? Where things are, you know, we're usually at work, we're not happy about it being Monday, but you know what? Let's flip the script on our fear. Let's make Monday a great day. Let's make it a great week. Let's go out there and let's friend our fear. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Come on, say it with me. Let's have a little fun. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Face, embrace, act, repeat. Friend your fear. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great week. Talk to you soon.